Welcome once again to Breakfast Central. Now, ahead of the May 29th inauguration of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his vice, Kashiim Shettima, the anti-bomb unit of the Nigerian police force has emphasized its preparedness for the day. Now, during a post-election assessment of the unit's performance, the anti-bomb unit command expressed its readiness to maintain and enhance the level of security it implemented during the elections across the country. News Central's Nii Omoni tells us more.
The 2023 general elections in Nigeria has come and gone, but criticism of the Nigeria police force alleged involvement in electoral fraud, violence and voter intimidation persists.
They want to make sure they suppress others from voting.
Despite these, the Nigeria Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit believes it has distinguished itself as an exceptional and efficient force, boasting of no record of bombing or explosion due to its proactive and strategic planning during and after the elections.
Within the period under review, the command recorded some notable achievements which include, but not limited to, 1. Personnel of EOD CBRN Base 35 Abakaliki recovered 3 IEDs from IPOB camp at Niger camp. A smoke hand grenade was recovered by personnel of EOD CBRN at unit Murtala Mohammed International Airport at 7-Star Global Hangar Limited. It is gratifying and heartwarming to state that reports from different departments, state commands and formations disclosed that EOD CBRN officers and men performed very well before, during and after the general election.
During the post-election assessment, the anti-bombing unit emphasized the importance of operational readiness for the upcoming inauguration ceremony.
To prevent, detect and neutralize any threats associated with chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear and explosive CBRNE materials before, during and after the election should be sustained and even reinforced as we approach the upcoming inauguration.
Security experts acknowledge that maintaining internal security remains a challenging task for the police force, and all units must be vigilant.
In the face of challenges that came through the election, and they can list different parts. So if the unit you're talking about is something very different that cannot be seen in a holistic picture of the police conduct in the elections, then that's a different thing. If it's any unit to do with the election, you must look at the police in a wholesome way. The Nigerian police should not escape the reprimand from the public for its connivance in the voter suppression that occurred in the last election.
As the clock ticks ahead of the new administration's inauguration, security operatives have expressed their commitment to improving safety measures during and after the ceremony to prevent, identify, and neutralize threats. Nii Omoni, reporting for News Central Lagos.
Brilliant report there by Nii Omoni. The inauguration's on 29th. And, it's brilliant that, of course, the anti-bomb squad and, other security agencies are putting whatever is, necessary, to ensure that there is a smooth transition of power without any security hitches here and there. I'm not sure if anyone expects that there would be. And I think from, threat assessment and, security assessment in the last couple of weeks, months maybe, they should have, a clear picture of whether, there's any threats to the inauguration of any sort. In successive governments, in Nigeria from 1999 till date, we've never really seen any, particular threats that could have emerged in the inauguration of a new government. There's been none whatsoever. There's maybe, of course, some of them that we've not been aware of.
Exactly what I wanted to say, that the security, we might not have had intel. It might have been classified information.
But when I say there's been none, there's never been any time
Overtly.
where Nigerians, maybe a certain group or bunch of people were so upset with the elections and they threatened. There's never been a time like that.
So I think this just like then goes to say that this has really been the most keenly contested election that Nigeria has had.
No, but I think it's standard, operating procedure. It's expected that there would be anti-bomb squad when there would be these security steps taken when there is, going to be an inauguration of a new government. So it's nothing what we're seeing here is nothing new. You know, they did it in 2019. They did it in, no, not in 2019. They did it in 2015. They did it in 2007 or 2011 now. You know, successive times when there's a new government taking, they would always do it. So it's nothing new. But I think, you know, what a lot of Nigerians would be thinking about with regards to this really is with the tribunal. Everyone's still going to go back to the tribunal and remind, you know, the government that there's still a tribunal. And people would argue, and I think it was Bishop Onayekon who was arguing that there should not be an inauguration when there's still a tribunal in session, you know. But unfortunately, that's almost impossible because of the timing that it takes. Yeah, and if you look at the way that is happening, there's adjournments almost every time. You know, they go to get a court, spend 2 minutes there before everybody finishes sitting down. It's been adjourned.
Absolutely. Like one wonders if they would actually be able to conclude this tribunal in time. It's just that there's a lot of attention on this particular tribunal. I don't think that we've had any tribunal that has had as much attention as the one of 2023. And yes, we unfortunately cannot halt. I wouldn't say unfortunately, we cannot halt inaugurations in order to conclude the election tribunal. But like we always say, we hope that at the end of the day, regardless of how things turn out, justice is seen to be done by a majority, because in this case, justice cannot be seen to be done by all Nigerians, but the majority of Nigerians. I'm just going to quickly run through the schedule of activities marking the 2023 presidential inauguration. So as at yesterday, we were to have the World Press Conference by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. On the 23rd of May at 7 p.m., regimental dinner in honor of the Commander-in-Chief, I beg your pardon. On the 24th, valedictory Federal Executive Council meeting by the council at the council chambers. 25th of May, we have investiture of the President-elect and Vice President-elect to the national honors of Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Grand Commander of the Order of Nigeria, respectively, and handover of transition documents. On the 26th, public lecture and Jumat prayer. On the 27th, inauguration lecture on the topic Deepening Democracy for Integration and Development by His Excellency Uhuru M. Kenyatta, former President of Kenya. We also have on the 27th, Children's Day program. And at 10 a.m., there's a parade, and at 2 p.m., there's a children's party. On the 28th, we have the interdenominational church service at 10 a.m. and inauguration dinner and gala night much later. Then also at 10 a.m. as well, we have the inauguration parade and swearing in. And finally, 1:30 p.m. post-inauguration luncheon, so that you can make yourself available for which of the events you would like to attend. Especially the luncheon. Especially the luncheon.
Exactly. Anywhere that there's food to celebrate with, you know, the incoming government. But of course, you know, congratulations to Nigeria. Regardless of how every other person, you know, everyone has their own feelings towards, you know, what's going on the 29th on the federal level and on the state level also. But congratulations to Nigeria for, of course, you know, having another, you know, successive government without a disruption to our democratic process since 1999. I think that's also something to be pointed out. You know, yes, we're still fine-tuning the process. We're still trying to make it better. I think there are more Nigerians that are better informed now about the electoral process and about the value of the elections, you know, that they will, you know, all be willing to participate. We've never seen it this way before, so that's a plus. It may not get it perfectly at this time, but, you know, it's something.
Well,
but at the same time, and just to pray that they get it perfectly, at least that, you know, something, there is some level of justice, you know, to, you know, the whole process. So we'll see how it turns, and continue, of course, to follow the process and share with you.
Okay. We, of course, will be bringing more updates in this regard. We will be following it up as well on Breakfast Central. But let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be winding things down with some entertainment here on Breakfast Central.